Hey there. I bet you wonder why I titled this thing Ready to Quit. It's because I have been there. I know exactly what it's like to want to give up on this entrepreneurial journey. I know exactly what it's like to want to give up on life. I know what it's like to want to give up on a dream. And so, as a believer in business, and I don't mean that you believe in business. I mean that you have a belief that you were called to be in this space of business. It is one of those things that we don't often share with people, is that we feel like some days we really just want to quit. And not in a joking manner and not as something temporary, but something permanent. Hey there. I am Shaniqua of ShaniquaCannon.com. I'm the founder of the Right Diva Productions and the creator of the Storypreneurs Academy. And during this series that I'm doing, the Stop Stalling on Your Calling, Observations of the Believer in Business, I am talking about the things that I struggled as an entrepreneur for these last few years. But that struggle expands beyond just being an entrepreneur. Sometimes there are things that we tell ourselves, these stories that we brought over from the way that we were treated when we were younger, or the things that people said when we were younger, and we allow that to put out the fire that we have within ourselves. Chances are you know that you're called to be something more than you have been. Chances are you know that there's something out there waiting for you on the other side of your stuck, on the other side of your uncomfort zone, because I don't believe in a comfort zone. You know that. If you watched me talk about it as in the Moses complex. You know, if you feel a pull to be somewhere else, that means that you're not comfortable. That means you're afraid. So I understand what it is to be ready to quit, but I understand more what it is to actually quit. Last summer, I did so. I hung up my hat. I was not going to pursue this entrepreneur journey anymore. I tried repeatedly over and over again to create something that I felt like people needed. Or I would listen to all these gurus. We talked about Follow the Leader in last episode. And I'm trying to do things their way, but their way doesn't resonate with me and doesn't sit in alignment with who it is that I am. And I had to check that and see if it was just me being afraid, just me having that Moses complex of feeling unworthy, or if it was more that just wasn't me. What those people were doing, that wasn't me. I was not going to exist as they do. I am not loud and oh geez. And like some people are just like bellicocious. I might be saying it wrong. I can't remember. I see all these words in my head right now. But they not belligerent, but they're loud and it's just annoying. And gimmicky and all these other things that I refuse to be because I want to be authentically me. I wanted to attract people who understood the value that I had. Now, there are things that you should take from other people, that you should follow as far as other people. One, being consistent and showing up. Some of those loud people, some of those extroverted people show up consistently, and some introverted people actually really struggle with that. So there are positive things to take, but I had to understand as an entrepreneur, I was not about to show up in the way that they did. And so I wanted to quit because it seemed like people didn't want me. Interesting that this is causing those prickles behind my, oh Lord. Okay, so I guess that really hit. That people didn't want me. They didn't want who I was, what I had to offer, etc. But I'm going to tell you why it is that I quit. I thought it was just that. When you are a round peg trying to fit in a in a square hole or vice versa. What happens is you wear down on what makes you different. You wear down on your edges, and circles do have edges. They're just round edges. You know, you're outside. You wear down on who you are. And when you accept those hurts, and when you feed yourself that negativity of, I'm not like them, I can't be like them, I don't show up like them, but I know what they know. I know as much as they know. In fact, I know more than they know. When you feed all that to yourself, you start wearing down who you are. And so last summer, I quit. I told God, like, I had my Moana moment on the boat. I threw back the stone, choose somebody else. I don't know what you want, right? That type of deal. And I gave up. I walked away from it. And I stayed in my bed for 3 straight days because I was exhausted. I had tried so much. And it's ramming against a stone over and over, a wall over and over when you're trying to be something you're not. I didn't have the corporate background. I couldn't say, in my 10 years in corporate or my 20 years in corporate, I didn't have that. What I did have was that I was a teacher, but I was still in the classroom. So being a teacher felt really negative because it was a space that was disrespected repeatedly by this country, especially. And so being a teacher was a negative thing to me. I didn't want to show up as a teacher because I felt like, again, in this space, it was going to be disrespected. So I didn't know what to call myself. You might identify with some of this. I got stuck on what's my name, who am I, and how to call and what to call myself, as if getting a title was going to solve the wear down that I was feeling. I got an eyelash in my eye. So I've been there. I've done everything that I was told to do. I bought the courses. I bought the program. I signed up for the one-on-ones. I did it all. I did it all. And it seemed like every time I felt like I got it, there was something else to get. You know, the systems, email and newsletters and what else? Website building and pixels and social media marketing and DM marketing and IM marketing, and Instagram is different than Facebook, is different than Pinterest, is different than Twitter, is Google, and right? I get it. I get it. So this is the solution to that if you're feeling it right now. If you are feeling that absolute overwhelm that I was feeling, to the point where I quit, and you might be at that point right now, but there is something that keeps propelling you forward, and that something is not negative, that something is not guilt, that something is not shame, that something is not anger, that something is more, a calling, a feeling that if I just keep going, if I just take one more step, if I just reach out to the right people, I will make it. If you feel that way, then I want you to take the word quit and to flip it. Choose which one works for you. I got 3 for you. The first thing that you have to do is you have to quell the unwritten impediments and taboos. Let me break that down, because those are pretty big words and you might understand them, but there might be someone who doesn't. Quell means to put it out. Okay? So put out the things that are supposed to happen, the unwritten. Those things that everybody does it, except it doesn't feel good to you. Put that out. And impediments are the things that stop you. So if you're sitting here going, I need to have business cards, I need to have websites, I need to have email lists, I need to have a freemium. I need to have I need to have a full product suite. Quell it. Because all you need to do right now is to just show up. We talked about this in Moses Complex. Just show up and position yourself, right? And the way to do that is to listen to yourself. One, to listen to who it is that you truly are. If you are rejecting what you're seeing at a deep level, then that rejection is not just your fear. That rejection is your soul saying, no, this isn't us. And if it isn't you, show up as you. Start using your voice. Start sharing your knowledge. Start giving your experience, because those are the things that are going to attract your tribe. Those are the things that are going to bring in your ideal client. Those are the things that will help you understand what it is that people not only want, but need. Not just what you think it is, but what they have yet to figure out it is. It gives you the chance to listen if you just show up. Don't think about all this stuff that needs to happen. Don't. But whatever you are expert at, that could be your beginning. So, for instance, one of the things that I do pretty well is live streaming. I think I'm pretty good at it. Am I all fancy with all these ins and outs? Am I using the different systems? No. I took that off my plate. I don't need to eat a dish of overwhelm. No. I need to be where it is that I want to be and need to be at that moment. So I took that off my plate. What can I do? I can teach you some basic live streaming techniques that will not overwhelm you. For instance, get lighting. Other thing, look in the camera. Other thing, smile, look for, basic things that you can actually do. Then about getting into content, then we can go a little bit further. But first, you need to show up. You really do need to show up. And how is it that you can show up? I created this right here. It's called the Pick One Method. It is a sheet that is designed to make things simple, to underwhelm you, to walk you step by step of what you can do for a live stream. You can figure out who you're talking to at that moment. And as you talk, start watching to see if there's response and start listening. And your message will start to come to you and develop. But it's really important that you do the first step. And that first step is to show up. So instead of listening to all the noise that is out here in this entrepreneurial world, quit. Quell it. Quell the unwritten impediments, those things that stop you, and taboos. The things that people say that we can't do or isn't done, child, please. Do you know that most things are can't do and it hasn't been done, etc.? Can you imagine 100 years ago somebody thinking about live streaming? That you can talk to people directly? That, oh my gosh, you can see somebody on the other side of the world? They would call that witchcraft. So don't think about what hasn't been done. And don't think about what those other taboos are. The only time that taboos should be a consideration is if it hurts other people, okay? But if it isn't hurting other people, like for instance, oh my God, I hate when people drink. Well, guys, anybody who's a speech professional knows that you have a cup of water by you because one, it does two things. It gives you the pause. That pause that lets people sit and think about what it is you're going to say next or what it is you just said. And then two, it relaxes you. It allows you to drink and to not have that nasty spit pooling in the corner of your mouth. Please, Jesus, please. Don't do that again. Okay, I've seen a live where I was just like, ew, turn off. Okay, so Quell those things. Quell the unwritten rules. They don't apply to you. They do not apply to you. If it doesn't hurt people, it doesn't apply to you. Okay? The second thing that you're going to do in this quit process, quietly undergo intentional transformation. There are times when you tell people, I'm going to, but then there are times when you just show them. So don't say, guys, I need to show up every day. I need you to tell me to show up every day, because what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure. And in this series, you'll see that I did not show up every day. I took the weekend off. And the first day, I beat myself up for it. The second day, I beat myself up for it. The third day, I was like, why? You're still going to complete the series. So you don't have to beat yourself up for the things that you don't do. Celebrate the things that you do. So quietly undergo intentional transformation. Start making those changes on you. Start reading things and doing your own professional development. The things that are valuable, the things that will feed you, the things that sit well with your soul. Those are that's the second quit that you do. Quietly undergo intentional transformation. The third thing that you do, clean up and initiate the takeover. Okay, so let's refresh this before I get into that one. So number one, get rid of the stuff that doesn't work for you. If you're feeling overwhelmed, boo-boo, back it up and drop the stuff that's overwhelming. Drop it. Make it simple right now. Right now, do something that you do well and then teach people, period. What do I do well? I get on camera and I talk to camera and it's a conversation. So what did I do next? I created a video and then a document that went with it of 8 tips to better live streaming. And that was born out of my peeves about the way that people live stream. Okay, cool. So now I have somewhere to point people, right? 2, quietly undergo intentional transformation. You need to work on you. One of the things that I had to understand over this year has been a huge year for transformation for me. The things that I had to understand, besides getting rid of those unwritten rules, is that I'm worthy, I'm deserving, and I'm enough for my gifts. So by me holding them and hoarding them, I'm not sharing them with people who actually need it. And I am assigned to certain people. And those people are assigned to me, just like there are other people who are assigned to me that I learn from and I grow. I get my brain watered, okay? And my soul watered. So we are assigned to different people. We are not assigned to the 7 billion who reside on this earth. We are not assigned to the 500 million who live in this country. We are assigned to our people. And we cannot find them until we start showing up. So that's step 1, show up in your knowledge. And 2, share a piece of it. You do not have to build a whole suite right now, because you have to see what it is that people want and then feed them also what they need. 2, quietly undergo that intentional transformation. Again, feed your brain. Okay, so that's professional development. That's audiobooks. That is not signing up for another course. Okay? But it is about finding a mastermind of people who are like-minded like you. Because, like-minded like you, that was redundant. But because we have to be attached to energy. Energy feeds energy. And so we need people on our same energy. And if you have those vampire or parasitic friends, spend less time. Sorry, that was like weird. Spend less time with them. Same with family. Okay? If they're parasitic, spend a little less time with them. Start spending more time with you, start spending more time in your spirit, and start spending more time feeding your brain, as well as spend more time with people who can help you elevate. And then 3, clean up, okay? This one I still work on. Some days I stay in the bed and I scroll for hours. But if you want to get on your throne, you have to put on your crown, and then you have to go take it. So queen up and initiate the takeover. And the way that you initiate is simply what that word says. Start it. Get up. Show up. Get in position. And then, Moses complex, listen and act. Okay? So those are the 3 ways that you need to quit. And if you're going to be ready to quit, choose one of those ways. But don't quit on you. Don't quit on your dream. And don't quit on where it is that you're about to go. Guys, quitting is not an option unless you're ready to quell quietly and queen up. So here's the thing. You want to figure out who you are? That's easy. You are amazing. But if you want to figure out what your story is, that's easy too. You can come to Power Story Week. That is part of the Walk in Authority program that I run. And right now there's just a $5 sneak peek of it. You get a whole week to check it out. And you can find that at bit.ly/5 sneak peek. 5, the number 5, capital S, NEAK, capital PEEK. And go learn your power story. Once you understand who it is that you are, you know how it is to show up. All right, guys? Can't wait to hear from you. Who else is queening up with me? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Peace out.